Let's start. So we will start with the platform and we'll go in such way. So first of all, after logging to the GISCARTA, a user see my projects. So here a user will see all projects that he created. He can change the style of the project, so it could be a list, it could be icons, so he can sort and change the order of projects by name, by creation date, or by renewal date. He can search. Let me show. Yes, so he can filter in such way his projects, and also he can press button new project. After that he will create a new project, and we will go there a little bit later after going through all tabs of the menu. The next tab is data sources. So this is the page of geodata. So geodata could be GISCARTA data, or in the enterprise edition it could be organization data, so not GISCARTA but any organization that would be, and my data. So the my data is data that a user uploaded by himself. Also, he can filter here the data by type of geometry, by name, for example, country, and so on. Also, he can, of course, upload data. Uploading data could be in different formats: GeoJSON, Excel, TML, TIFF for rasters, zip for shapefile, ArcGIS JSON, CSV, GPX, and so on. Okay, after selecting a file, user can enter name, description, and text, and press save. Let's go to my project and press a new project. So after pressing new project, user came to the builder of the web map application, WebGIS application, and we will go the same way. So we see here a vertical menu in the left part of the platform, and so we will go step by step through all of these steps. Okay, the first step is data. Data, it could be organization data and my data. So from this menu you can add layers to the platform. You can add layers in two types: vector tile layer or vector layer. So the difference is, so if for example, I will show you the difference. If you add a layer as a vector tile, you get some kind of generalization. So as you can see, you cannot find a pair of geometry, a pair of points that are intersected. So this is the kind of generalizations depending on a scale, depending on a zoom. So when you zoom in, you can see more and more points. When you zoom out, you can see less points, and no pair of them are intersected. Yes. So this is kind of generalization. So if you have, for example, lots of points that are too heavy to show in the web browser or something like this, you can just add it as a vector tile. It will be faster, a little bit faster. Let's add the same layer as a vector. So let's add it and turn off the previous layer. As you can see, the points are intersected. So every point is shown on the map. You can in any zoom you can see all points. So this is the difference. Okay, this is the data tab. Then layers. So layers is the table of content of your map. So here you will see all layers that are added to a map. You can edit each layer, so you can make some settings on each tab. We will stop a little bit later, so just step by step. Yeah, then you can turn on, turn off the layers, switch off. You can create groups here. So for layers, you can add layers to groups. Yeah, so here we are. And just manage the visibility, the transparency, the scale settings of a group. The next step is widgets. Widgets is functionalities. Some of them are hidden from the user. Some of them are displayed on a map, so you can see some buttons here. For example, if I switch off base map widget, so it will disappear in the left bottom corner. So if I switch on, so it appeared. And some widgets, for example, coordinate grid. So this widget is not a button, but this widget is a block, is a division in the parameter section. So here it is, displayed coordinate grid. So it adds a coordinate grid on the map, and if we will turn it off, so in the parameters you cannot find it. So some widgets are not the buttons, but it is the section in the parameters tab. So the parameters tab. Here we are. There are three menus: map parameters, where you can use initial extent, so current value of initial zoom and the center of a map. So you can use it, you can save it, and when you save a project, this extent will be saved as the initial extent. I suppose it's clear. Then map projection. So you can change map projection for the project, for example, North Pole or South Pole, or different projections from the GeoServer. So if we will talk about enterprise solution, there are lots of projections on the GeoServer, for example, more than hundreds. And if customer wants to use a special projection, he can say us, and we will manage our program to give him not 3 projections, but more and more projections as he wants. Also, you can change map background. For example, as you can see, the North Pole projection has no tiles on North Pole, and you can manage the color of the background of a map. Also, background color is used when you don't have base map. So you can create maps without base map. For example, maybe you should show on a map only world countries without base map, and you need to create a color of the ocean, or maybe you create some indoor project, so you add on a map only some parts of some building, and you don't need a base map, and you just create some background color of a map, yes, to manage it. This is map parameters. Then logo and title. You can change your title of a map, some description of a map, to search it in the My Project page. So you can change a link under the logo, you can change logo, you can change mini logo. So what is the difference? When you don't have a title, this is logo. When you have a title, this is mini logo. So I will show it a little bit later. And sidebar options. So display sidebar when you launch the project for the first time. Then feedback. Okay, there's again feedback. So let's change our projection. Then export and import. So each project in our system, each project is a JSON file. So you can download the project to the JSON, and you can upload the project from the JSON. So it is the way to copy and paste your projects. So not to manage, not to style it again, and so on and so on. Just copy and paste. Save, just saving project. So you will save it. Then Okay, go back. This is my projects. Profile also goes back. Then the main button is publishing. So you can publish your application. So just turn it on, copy link, and you will see the map project that you've managed, that you created. And also you can set a password on a project. So for example, 1 2 3 4 5, save. Let's copy it, and I will show it in the incognito window because I am a creator, and in this new tab I will see the project without password because I am a creator. For example, the new user will see it like this. So here it is. Just let's enter the password, and we will see our project. And as you see, as we turned off displaying the sidebar, so it is closed. So when we will if we will turn it on, it will be opened. Okay, let's go through the functionality and widgets. We have prepared demo project, so let's go to it. First of all, let's go through the stylization, through the managing of a layer. There are four types of layers: point layer, line layer, polygon layer, and raster layer. So let's go through all of them. For example, for the country centroids, yes, every point layer could be edited. So edited, what does it mean? It means managing. You can see several tabs here, the main, fields, filtering, styling, labels, legend, and clustering. So let's go through them. In the main window, user can change the name of a layer, he can change the description of a layer, he can change transparency, scale settings, information window, turn it on or off, the title of the information window, and the location of the information window. So let's change something. For example, we can turn off description and press save. So here you can see the description button is disappeared. If we will turn it on and save, so it appears. So this is the description of a layer, the additional information about each layer you can add it. Then transparency, I suppose it is clear, and this is the transparency of a layer. Just scale settings, the visibility of a layer on different scales. For example, from the force zoom you will see the data. So force zoom less than 4. It's like a generalization. Okay, then information window. So we can turn it off, and you cannot click on the features of a layer. So if you click, nothing happens. You can turn it on and choose where would be the location of the side of info window. So for example, on a map, if we click on a map, save, here it is, it is on a map. We can click in the sidebar, save, and here it is. So then we can select the title of the info window. For example, for now it is empty. Let's see what does it mean. So we click on it, and in the title of the info window we see the name of the layer. So if we will change it, for example, we will use the attribute of a layer, one of the attributes, for example, name. Click save, and in the title we see the name of the country. If we have some links to photos in the attributes, for example, we can, after clicking on an object, we will see the image and the set of images in the sidebar. So if info window is in the sidebar and it has a link to an image, so it will be here. The next tab is fields. So here you can style, you can manage your informational window. So This is the name of the real attribute of a layer, and this is the alias of the attribute that you want to see. For example, the name region, and I want to make it capitalized, region 1, for example, just anything you want to type. Click on a country, and you see region 1. And also you can by checkboxes you can manage the appearance of different attributes in the informational window, and also you can change the order of the fields in the informational window just dragging the rows. For example, save, and the region is the first one for now. Okay, this is the fields tab. Then let's go to filtering. Filtering is, of course, for creating filters. Here you can create any amount of filters on this layer. You can delete it, you can manage each filter. We have 3 types of filters. So we have filters as checkboxes, as radio buttons, and as range. So let's see how it works. For example, the final user, the end user, will see this button among each layer, and he can press it and see checkbox filters, the name of the attribute, the name of values, the name of attributes as radio buttons and values, and the range filter and its attribute. For example, he can filter data by some checkboxes. As you see, it uses AND between the subsets. For example, then let's choose developed. So in Africa there are no developed region, and we can change the population number. So then reset, and everything is on a map. So how to manage it? For example, let's create a new filter and go to managing this filter. You can change an attribute. You can use any attribute, for example, status, use checkboxes or radio buttons, and create a filter name. This is the alias for the attribute, for example, status 1 or something like this, and add all values of this attribute. And here you are. For example, I don't need the null values of this layer, so I can delete it from the future filter. I can create an alias for each unique value, so it of course would work. And I can turn off all other values. So if all other values are needed for the cases when you use not all unique values but some unique values, and you want to add as all other values. So let's save it, and here I can see the 4th filter for this layer. Clustering. Clustering is the tab, is the setting that is allowed to cluster a layer. It can be used only with point layers. So the different points which are near each other, they are connected to the pie charts. So it could be a simple grouping, so each cluster would be the same size and the same color, for example blue. Let's show it. So here it is. So each cluster is blue, and you can click on it. You can see what features are in this cluster. You can go to the informational window of each feature, and so on. And also clusters could be as a pie chart. So it means when you have styled your layer by attributes, so different points, the colors of different features depend on an attribute, on different values of an attribute. You can connect your features into the cluster by its colors. For example, here we see the cluster with 3 values, blue, red, and orange, and it means that so for example, this means that 5 features are blue, 5 are red, and 5 are orange in this area, in this cluster. Here we can see 11 orange and 11 red features. So if we will go here, so they are red and these are orange. So this is clustering. Okay, let's go next. Let's go to the styling section. So each layer could be styled. Each point layer could be styled in 5 different ways, except clustering in 5 different ways. Single symbol, symbol by attribute, and symbol by multiple attributes, as a pie chart, as a heat map. So this is the example of styling by multiple attributes. Let's go from the first one. So let's use this layer. This is the single symbol layer. So if you go to styling, we see the single symbol. So you can use a symbol. You can choose any icon you want. You can set the size of a symbol. You can manage the fill and border of this symbol. This is the single symbol option by symbol by attribute. So as you can understand, this is the dependence on the attribute. So you can choose any attribute, for example, state name. Here you can choose the type of creating values. So if it would be numeric attribute, you can use intervals, equal intervals, equal count quantiles, and natural breaks by Jenks. If it is the string attribute, you can use unique values. So we can set and see all unique values of this layer. So after that, you can manage each feature alone, or you can manage all features at the same time, clicking on this button. So setting symbol for all features. You can choose color. This could be color, the same color for all features, or the color scheme. For example, some gradients, I suppose it is needed for numeric attributes, and for unique attributes there are these color palettes. So for example, this one. Then we can use symbol, so we can use squares, for example, and the size of the symbol, something like this, and click OK. So we will see the layer that is styling by one attribute. So styling by several attributes, by multiple attributes, here it is. Let's turn off clusterization. So what does it mean? It means the dependence on three values: the symbol, the color, and the size. So each of these values you can manage depending on different attributes. For example, the symbol is depending on attribute economy, and there are different symbols for different unique values. For example, this is triangle. By color, so color depends on the continent attribute, and there are different colors. And the size depends on the population attribute. This is natural breaks by Jenks. There are 5 intervals. So this is the symbolization by multiple attributes. The next one, let's go to another layer. Where it is? Yes, here it is. This is heat map. So going to the heat map. Yes. So the heat map allows you to choose the color palette, color scheme. You can flip it, you can change it. The radius of the point, the blur of the points, and alias for the legend. So, for example, let's change it, like something like this, and we will see another color of the heat map. And in the legend, as you could see, there are such names, such titles as you typed in the layer. So here they are, more and less, so you can change it. The next type of stylization is pie chart. So this means the styling of point layers by all numeric values. So if there are several numeric values, numeric attributes in this layer, you can create a pie chart from these attributes, from the values of these attributes. Pie chart could be bar, pie, and donut. It could be in 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional. For example, 2-dimension pie chart, the simplest one. Let's save it and let's show it. So here it is. So each point is a pie chart, or depending on its attributes. And then we can change it, for example, to bar and 3D, for example, and the size would be the same for all. So here it is. So you can see the this style of a layer, and also a size could be can depend on the different attribute. For example, different numeric attributes and the size of each diagram and the size of each chart. So these are the options of stylization of point layer. So 5 options of stylization plus clustering. So another possibility to style layer. The next one, let's go to the labels. So labeling could be, I will show it on the line layer, for example, geological faults, editing labels. So here you can create labels for each feature depending on an attribute. Also for line layers you can choose the font size, so the style, color, hollow color. This is around the text, so if we turn it off it would be just black color, and turning it on you see the border of each letter. Alignment in the middle of the line, in the end or in the start of the line, under, on, and above, and the case of the value of an attribute. So here you see the styling of labeling of a layer. Okay, then line layers. So of course line layers could be, they are not points, and they could be styled by single symbol and the symbol by attribute. So for this layer we see the color depends on attribute agera for this layer. So, and other things are the same. The next type of layer is polygon layer. It is world countries. So it is also could be styled as a single symbol, so the single color and border and hatching and the symbols by attribute, by one attribute. Also, you can create, for example, some hatching for the color, for the polygon. So, for example, you can choose one of different hatchings. Let's choose color of it, the spacing, maybe something like this, and create save. Yes, I suppose. So here we see the hatched polygons for urbanism, and for something like this it is very useful. It could be useful. Okay, this is the styling of vector layers. So the next one is a raster. Let's go through them. There are two rasters here. First one, first of all, you can use single band rasters and multiple band rasters. Let's start from the single band. So editing, so here you can see legend and styling. There are two types of styling rasters, by gradient and by bands. So for single band rasters you use gradient, for multiple by bands. Using a band, using one band, this is a raster with one band, you can choose creating raster color by color scheme, one of one of the different gradients, different color palettes. You can choose it, and automatically you will get the intervals for the gradients. For example, this one gives you four intervals. Okay, let's save it and let's see what happens. So this is the different color. Also, you can use your own colors. So let's click set gradient color, add another range. For example, here we will push 0, and here from 2000 to the end. So as you see, I create a discrete intervals. So from 0 to 2000 there are no color, there will be no color. Let's see. So from this one to this one, and from this one to this one. Yes, save. As you see, there are no colors, no values for the part of raster. So discrete colors, discrete styling is also available. And for the let me return things. You can flip any color scheme, and for the end user, there would be different settings. So he can change the hue, he can change brightness, and so on. And multi-band raster. Let's show it. Let's zoom to the layer. Here it is. This is multi-band styling by bands. So for the red, green, blue, you can choose any band you want. So for example, let's change it for the red, band number 2, for the green, band number 1. So here it is. Okay, this is about stylization of different data. Then let's go to widgets. So each widget can have settings or has not settings. So there are different ones. For example, attribute table doesn't have any settings, so it is just the table of a layer. For example, you can open attribute table. You can select different features, you can zoom to them, you can hide columns if you want. You can download the selected features to the different format, and you can clear the selection. Then the next widget is base map. base maps. So you can configure it for the end user. You can add different base maps for changing. For example, let me turn off the layer. So he will have the button with the base maps, and he can choose any base map he wants. The base map widget can be configured, so you can use the base map of a platform. The base maps are just online sources. These are not our, and also you can add your own base map. Then change layer order. You can add a possibility to the end user to change the layer order. So what does it mean? For example, world countries, country centroids. Yes, country centroids, and we want to change the order. We put the world countries to the top of a map, and the country centroids is on the bottom. So just changing it, we change the order of layers. It is also a widget. It's a possibility to change the order. Map projection, as I said, the switching off and on, just changing this section. Changing scale, okay, and I suppose it's understandable. Yes, here are these buttons. Coordinate grid, also, as I said, in the parameters you can add a coordinate grid. You can change its color. For example, let me make some different. Yes, so it's pink or red for now. Let's turn it on. Then cursor coordinates. So when I move my cursor in the bottom right corner, you can see the changing of coordinates. It is the configurable widget, so it could use degrees, it could use map projection, current map projection, or meters from the Mercator, and accuracy, the number of digits after the point, so for example 2, and so you see the coordinates in meters. Elevation profile, so this widget, let me zoom in something. You asked about it, so you can draw any line, and on this line you see the relief, the elevation of the model. So as we wrote here, the digital elevation model is with accuracy with 2 kilometers in 1 pixel, and you can change it if you use enterprise. Of course, in the online platform we use the elevation model on all over the world. So it's also the configurable widget. We can change the color of the chart, the color of the line of a chart, the statistics, and units of scale. Exporting layer. So layer export is a widget. It's a button for the end users. So you can choose any format, and you can choose a layer to export, and also you can checkbox the filter. So use layer filters. Full screen widget. So this is the button. This allows you to make a map in the full screen. It is necessary when you embed your web map to the website, for example, and in the small div, in the small area, and you need to see the map on the full screen. Yes, then Geodata AI, so it's AI widget. It's the beta version for now. It's experimental. Let me see how it works. For example, we use this widget to get data from OpenStreetMap. So the different request returns different response. For example, Paris gas stations, you can zoom to layer. So here you can see different points in USA and in France. Also, we are developing, and so we improving this AI widget. So for now, you can add the population of cities using it by hexagon layers. So you can type, for example, Paris population, and you will get the hexagon layer, not from OSM, but of the different table of the different source with the population in each hexagon. Initial extent, this is the widget that puts you back to the extent that was managed in this map parameters section. So this extent will be used as the initial. Then layers comparison. So here it is. For example, you can compare a layer with compare layers. You can compare base maps. Yes, for example, like this. Compare here. You can compare something like this, Yes, you can increase radius, degrees, and so on. Layer transparency, this is the possibility to the end layer to change the transparency of a layer. So these settings, and also if you for example add a layer to a group, let me see. So there are geological faults, there are gas stations here. Transparency of a group will make transparent all layers in this group, so it is simpler than to click on each layer. Visibility, so this is the visibility of a layer depending on the scale. Also for the group layers, you can also change the visibility of all group. Yes. Legend, just a legend. So turn it off, turn it on. Map info, so map info is the widget, information about a map. So it is of course configurable. You can type any text you want, you can display it on a map launch. So for the first time you open a project. Then measuring distances, measuring areas. So it is, I suppose, very understandable. Printing uses web browser print, so you can choose, for example, landscape, creating some title, and press print, and here it is. Scale bar. Scale bar is also a configurable widget. You can use style line or scale. You can use meters or something like other units. 4 divisions or 2. As you see, it is changing in the left bottom corner. So for example, different views of the scale bar and show numeric value or not. Search. Let's search. For example, let's see some country, France. Yes, here it is, and some part of France are the islands, so the zoom was here. So here it is. Search is a configurable widget. You can add different layers, different attributes. So you can add the same layer but different attributes for the same layer for searching. So any amount of layers and attributes you want to search from. Then selection. Selection is our new widget. We released it 2 days ago. So here it is. You can choose different features. You can choose it by clicking on them. You can choose them by some figures. For example, something like this. And you will get the statistics of the selected features of the selected field. So, for example, pop year or population or area. And also you can export selected features to one of the different formats. So some kind of analytics. And in the future release, I suppose also in the nearest release, we will add here not only geometry figures, but transport analysis. So you will create a service area, and inside this service area, you can select features and get statistics on, for example, points in the 5-time travel cost of some point. The next widget is time slider. This is widget for the features that have time. I will show it on the earthquakes. Let me open time slider. So here it is. As you see, the year 1980, and we can change it. And let me change the map for best vision. So the date changes depending on the time value. And it is configurable, so this widget is configurable. You can choose the layer and the attribute that has type date. Then transport analysis widget. Here it is. Let me change base map. For example, yes, here we are. The source of this widget is OpenStreetMap, the graph of OpenStreetMap, routes of OpenStreetMap. So you can create routes. You can create routes with different amount of points. So you can change the order. For example, 2 and 3, we will change it right now, and the route is changing. You can choose any type of type of transport, yes, by foot, by bicycle, and by car. And also you can create service areas like isochrones from point and to point. It depends on some restrictions, so one way roads or something like this. You can create different amount of these service areas. You can choose by time or by distance, for example 10 minutes zones, 1, 2, 3 zone, for example 1 zone or 2 zones, for just necessities. So this is the transport analysis widget. And the next was just zooming to layer, so it works in a simple way. For example, zoom to layer. So these are the widgets.